Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Manchester United cannot win the big games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That has been proven this season so far. We have not beaten Manchester City, we have not beaten Tottenham, we have not beaten Arsenal, we have not beaten Chelsea, and we have not beaten Leicester. We did beat a couple of big teams last season. We obviously beat Manchester City 3 times out of the 4 times we played them last season. And we also beat Chelsea 3 times last season. So if we are to be title contenders, then we've got to start winning big games. Now, we obviously lost yesterday night to Manchester City 2-0 at Old Trafford in the EFL Cup semi-final. Like I said on my match reaction, City deserved to win that game. You know, it's second season in a row that Manchester City have beaten us in the semi-final. And City have reached their 4th consecutive League Cup final. And it was our 4th defeat in a row in the semi-final under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been let down in the transfer window again. Is Solskjaer going to get the players that he wants to recommend in to Manchester United? Now, this January transfer window is his 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. Now, obviously, Woodward has already said that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Solskjaer does deserve more backing at the football club because last summer he wasn't backed enough by the board. And Solskjaer showed his frustration towards the board quite a few times last summer. But like I've said so many times, the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And obviously our recruitment policy has been poor. Obviously Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. And the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. But it's said that Solskjaer is ready to spend big for the title. Solskjaer says we need to make at least a few more signings if we are to be title contenders. Now, I think that Man United have got to win a trophy this season. Now, obviously, we can't win the Carabao Cup because we're out now. But there's still 3 trophies we can pursue. You know, we can win the Premier League, we can win the Europa League, and we can also win the FA Cup. And we are certainly in the title race. You know, if we do beat Burnley, we will be 3 points clear of Liverpool. And if we do beat Liverpool on the 17th, we will be 6 points clear. The game against Burnley is our game in hand. We was supposed to be playing them on the opening day of the season, but it did get postponed. You know, Solskjaer has said that, you know, Man United are not in this title races yet. He said that after our 1-0 win against Wolves, but he said if we are still challenging at the top come March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. I'm sceptical we'll win the league this season, like I've said before, but I think we'll definitely win another Premier League title at some point. If we do win it though, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. But I am hopeful that we can make some signings in this January transfer window. Obviously, Amad Diallo Traore's come in. Don't forget though, a couple of times towards the end of last year, Solskjaer was saying, he doesn't expect a busy January transfer window, and Woodward said that we have a long-term plan to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer centred around summer transfer windows. Moises Caicedo, now he is a player on our agenda. According to recent reports, his transfer to Manchester United is a delay because of the work permit problem. Independiente del Valle recently denied that we made contact over a move for Moises Caicedo. It does mention that Everton and Chelsea are trying to get him, but I still think we are the favourites to sign him because Caicedo has already revealed that his favourite club is Manchester United. Independiente del Valle, I think have increased their asking price to around €10 million. But it said last month, back in December, that we were trying to finalise a deal in the region of €6 million. And it would include a 20% sell-on clause. Moises Caicedo is 19 and is a holding midfielder. He made his debut for Independiente del Valle around 15 months ago, and he's played around 4 times for Ecuador. So if we do sign him, he will be the second Ecuadorian to represent Man United after Antonio Valencia. You already know the news on Jack Grealish. It says Manchester United do have a chance of signing Grealish, but only if we do sell Paul Pogba in the summer. Now Villa want at least £90 million for Grealish. Don't forget, last summer, Villa's valuation was £80 million. And obviously that put us off, and we also had element of concerns about where he would fit in the team. Don't forget last Friday night, after our 2-1 win against Villa, like I updated you on, Solskjaer spoke with Grealish, and some of our fans were speculating that he could be on his way to Manchester United. Grealish actually told his friends last summer that he was on his way to Old Trafford. Most of the time now, Grealish plays on that left for Villa. Don't forget, back in September, he signed a 5-year contract with them. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Villa. He's been a Villa player since the age of 6, and he's been in their senior squad since 2014. Rio Ferdinand recently urged us to sign Jack Grealish. You already know the news on Erling Haaland. It recently said that Erling Haaland is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority now, and we want to sign him instead of Jadon Sancho. Don't forget, Solskjaer recently held talks with 6 players he wants to get rid of in this January transfer window. And the players that are going to leave, I think, is Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Sergio Romero. I think Igalo will leave. His loan deal expires, I think, on the 31st of January. Daniel James, I think he'll go out on loan. And I also think that Brandon Williams will go out on loan. And I think more players will leave the club in the summer. Now, our next game, like I've said to you already, is Watford in the FA Cup third round at Old Trafford. It's Saturday, 8 o'clock kickoff. I think Solskjaer will make a lot of rotation in the squad for that one. He'll obviously rest players, won't he, will Solskjaer? We should be beating Watford. Obviously, Watford are 6th in the Championship. Their current manager is Vladimir Ivic. they did have Nigel Pearson before, and he was at Watford for quite a while. You know, we've actually played Watford in the Cup quite a few times. We actually played them at Wembley, was it, back in April 2007. We're beating them by 4-1. I think the last time we played them in the league was February 2020, which was last year, and we beaten them 3-0. I know a few Watford players, obviously their key players are Troy Deeney and Ismail Assar. They've obviously got Glenn Murray, they got him on loan from Brighton. They've got Tom Cleverley, he's a former Man United player, will he be reuniting with us? James Garner, they got him on loan from us. They've got that Craig Kafka. I think he's been out with injury. They've also got Ben Foster as well. And like I said to you, the preview for the game against Watford will be coming up later on today. But like I've said, I do have my concerns about Ole. His decision making really concerns me, because in a lot of his games at Manchester United, he's made the wrong decisions, and that's obviously cost us. And you can say in the game against City yesterday night, he was naive with Solskjaer. You know, some United fans will say maybe David De Gea should have gone in net instead of Dean Henderson because it was a semi-final. But there again, Dean Henderson plays a lot in the Carabao Cup, and that game yesterday night was his Old Trafford career debut. You know, United fans will say that Donny van der Beek should have started the game. Donny van der Beek come on with 2 minutes to go, and a lot of Man United fans were infuriated by that. Maybe Bay should have started instead of Lindelof, because I think Bay and Maguire look very good together, and they look better than, you know, it looks better than, you know, Lindelof going alongside Harry Maguire. But Lindelof just come back from a back injury. Do you think Matic should have started instead of McTominay? No doubt Edison Cavani would have played if he would have been available, but obviously he can't because he got that ban, didn't he, by the FA. He's served 2 games now, so I think he's only got 1 game to serve now as Cavani. But there again, you know, his decision making in some games has been very good. And like I've said to you, Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, you know, because obviously before he came to Man United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but Molde are a big club, and obviously before he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. Now, earlier on in the season, I was very critical of Solskjaer, and I was demanding him out of the football club, and so too were a lot of Manchester United fans. But in recent months and that, I've been slowly changing my perception on Solskjaer, and I've started to believe, you know, he is the right manager for Manchester United. And at this present time, there's still some Man United fans that are Ollie in, and there's obviously still Man United fans that are Ollie out. Maybe some people's perceptions would have changed after yesterday night's game, but you can't really change your perception after 1 defeat. You know, if we do go winless in his next 3, 4, 5 games, then Solskjaer will be under more and more pressure. You know, Solskjaer did give a perception on our 2-0 loss to Manchester City yesterday night. And he did say, you know, we weren't good enough. He says we are getting closer, but he did say that City are the best team in England. And he just basically said, you know, we didn't have enough big chances in the game. But Solskjaer, don't forget, was saying prior to the game, there's no excuses if we lose another semi-final. You know, we lost 3 semi-finals last season. City beat us in the semi last season. Sevilla beat us in the Europa League semi-final. And Chelsea beat us in the FA Cup semi-final. You know, Ole has learnt quite a bit at Man United. And he has gained some managerial experience, reflecting how long he's been at the football club. You know, Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now for just over 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Yeah, we did give him the job early, but the main explanation we giving the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. You know, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at Manchester United, and I always said this season was going to be a big season for him. But I've already said to you, if we can finish in the top 4, the top 3 this season, and if we can win a trophy, that would represent a very good season for Man United, and that would give us something to build on. And then I will assure that Solskjaer will be given at least another season at the football club. Now, if we wasn't to win a trophy this season and we was to finish out of the top 4, then maybe Solskjaer could be sacked at the end of the season. But I don't see that happening. I think we are going to finish in the top 4, the top 3 at least this season. You know what I mean? You know, Ole has managed over 100 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions, and he has got a contract with the club until 2022. I don't know if he'll see out his contract. But, you know, Solskjaer does still deserve some credit. He really, really does. You know, end of the day, you know, he got us to the semi-final of the EFL Cup this season. He's got us joint top of the Premier League. And you wouldn't have thought we'd have been joint top of the Premier League in 2021. And you certainly wouldn't have thought we'd have been there at the end of 2020 because we was poor at the start of last year. Was poor at the start of this season. And at the first part of last season, we was very, very poor. But Solskjaer was saying like the change of mentality in our players has helped us get into the position that we are in. He actually said that prior to the game against Aston Villa. You know, you've got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot of credit for what he did last season in his first full season because he got us qualification for the Champions League, he got us third, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. He has made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, he has spent over £200 million at the club. Now, in the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in, Noddy Nagalo in on loan. That was obviously January last year. And in the summer transfer window last year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Facundo Pellistri, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo, Traore, Alex Telles, yeah. But we did get 4 of those players on deadline day. And we have seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. And like I said, we've enjoyed very, very good periods under him. So you've got to give him the credit that he deserves. You can say Solskjaer's lucky to be still Manchester United manager because, like I said, we've enjoyed difficult periods under him. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after we got knocked out of the Champions League. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 thrashing to Tottenham earlier on in the season. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. But I said our board have a soft stance on Ole because he is a club legend. But disregarding him being a club legend, the board had been a lot more ruthless on him. You know, like I said, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, you know, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. And he's still inheriting some deadwood now. But Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United it was going to be a massive job, despite the fact that he knows the club inside out. You know, you can say Ole's done well to say he's not a manager at the top level. The question is, can he emulate into a top level manager if he is given the time, you know, that he's, you know, demanding at the club? Like I said to you, there is good players at Manchester United. You know, you've got Marcus Rashford, very, very good player. You know, you've got Cavani, who's a good player, and he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. You've got Mason Greenwood, that's a good player. You know, Ollie's been defending him a lot this season. You've got Bruno Fernandes, that's exceptional. He's our best player and he's the best signing we've made since Ferguson left. You know, you've got Donny van de Beek. He's good when he plays, but he seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 league games, and that was against West Ham and Southampton. By the way, like I updated you this morning, Man United are going to hold talks with Donny van de Beek to clarify his role at the club. Now, Solskjaer says that Donny van de Beek will have to wait for his chance at Man United. But Solskjaer insists that he's got a bright future at the club. He actually said Donny van de Beek was advised to pack his bags if he didn't play against Manchester City yesterday night. Well, he didn't play apart from, you know, the 2 minutes towards the end when he came on. End of the day, we got him in a deal worth £40 million. We paid £35 million up front for him, and there was £5 million in add-ons. And Corriere dello Sport, which is an Italian newspaper, they said that Inter Milan are looking to get him on loan in this January transfer window. And it said that Christian Eriksen could be part of the deal. Now, we've been tentatively linked with Christian Eriksen. I've also been very, very impressed with Fred in a lot of games this season. There's been a few games where he hasn't been that good, though. Paul Pogba's done well in a lot of his games since he come back from that ankle injury. You know, he weren't great yesterday night, though, against Manchester City. Now, a lot of United fans are expecting Paul Pogba to leave in the summer. If Paul Pogba leaves, it will be this summer. I'm very, very sceptical that he'll leave in this January transfer window. Now, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga at the club. He's obviously been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Swap deals have been high on the agenda. He recently said that Juventus had offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a swap deal for Pogba. It also said they'd offered us Douglas Costa as part of a swap deal for Pogba, but we rejected that. But it said that we are interested in an exchange deal for Pogba. I think it said Juventus are only willing to pay like £50 million for him in this January transfer window. He hasn't only been linked with a return to Juventus, though. He's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. PSG have recently reignited their interest, and Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Don't forget, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola told Tutto Sport last month that Paul Pogba's career at Man United is over, he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. And then obviously Mino Raiola made a fresh statement, but Ollie was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig. Earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. But I think it did say the other week that we will sell Paul Pogba in the summer because we've come to accept that he will not sign a new long-term contract at the club. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. And this is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Ollie was saying earlier on in the season that Pogba can be convinced to stay at the club if Man United win trophies. So yeah. Luke Shaw, I've got to say, he's good and he's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. You know, my only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. I think, you know, Tellez has done well since he's come in, but there again, he's enjoyed a couple of bad games. Harry Maguire, he's also impressed me as well. Bay has impressed me since he started playing again. Didn't play yesterday night, but he started our last 4 games in a row prior to the game yesterday night. Like I said, I prefer him ahead of Lindelof. And Wan-Bissaka is a good right back. He weren't so good though yesterday night against City, like I mentioned. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka headed clearance, fell straight to Fernandinho, and that was obviously a goal. And he was too careless, wasn't he? And he struggled against Phil Foden at times. But we have got concerns about Wan-Bissaka's lack of attacking intent and his distribution. But he's played well in a lot of games this season, to his credit. And David De Gea, like I've said, he's now getting back to his best. You know, a few years ago he was the best goalkeeper in the world. You know, this is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. He's made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. Now, Anthony Martial, I think he's been good recently. He weren't great against City, but he has been good in recent games before City. You know, he's proven to be more clinical. So, there you go. Like I said, since Sir Alex Ferguson left the club, you know, we haven't been the same team, have we? You know, since Ferguson's left, we've sacked 3 managers, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. And we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers. And like I've said to you so many times, no manager at Man United or no manager in general will replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. We have spent over £1 billion on players since Ferguson left, and we've brought around 37 players in, haven't we, since Ferguson left? You know, under Moyes, we just brought 2 players in, that were Fellaini and Mata. You know, Fellaini's no longer at the club now. Under Louis van Gaal, we brought quite a few players in. We brought Schneidlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Herrera, Romero. Then we bring Valdez in as well. You know, brought Blind in, brought Rojo in, brought Martial in, brought Shaw in. So yeah, they're quite a lot of the players we brought in under Louis van Gaal era, and under Mourinho we brought 11 players into the club. Though the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. You know what I'm saying? But we have made a lot of mistakes since Ferguson left, and that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. So anyway, let's see how we react to this 2-0 loss to Manchester City. You know, hopefully we can get a win against Watford. Hopefully we can get a win against Burnley, and hopefully we can get a win against Liverpool on the 17th of January. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.